Been a little bit of a delay, unfortunately, of course, because of the long cleanup job for the number of karts that were out on the course from the previous race. But now we can go racing, and I'm sure we'll get back to schedule very quickly. So let's talk you through the grid in full. Ariel, Elkin and Sam Balota from Ollie Greenall and Luca Griggs, Eddie Goldstein and Andy Rattel from Marcus Luzio and Lazar Lartigo from Harold Neradini and Kalai Atkins. Kevin Rabin and Nathaniel Den Hont, Enzo de Cruz and Kamal Agar from Jan Duran and Oscar Joyce. Bart Harrison is alongside Alex Monod. Lewis Bird and Hugo Natteril from Erbertsmoor, André Janssen, Julian Carmen and Ben Doughty from Jan Rothen, Mattis Barb, Delano Valens, Hugo Brun, Nicolas Mühlbach, Mirko Wouters, Adrian Margiulio, Giovanni Trentin, Michael Marino, Petra Babachkova and JP Slater of Ireland. Because now they'll be looking for places where they can gain advantage, whether it's slight adjustments in the setup or whether it's tyre pressures, whatever it might be. Let's go racing. Good start from Elkin. Great start from Greenall and Goldstein. They go with him. Up to the first corner. Everybody charging their way forward as we go through turn 2. Is everybody going to get through clean? Yes, they do. Up towards 4. And there's the move already starting in from Greenall. He had to think about it on Ariel Elkin, but he doesn't make the ultimate overtake. A couple of drivers running out wide there, and there's a moment or two in the pack. Did everybody keep it together? Well, there's one driver off the road by the look of it at the very back of the field, but it's only brief. It's the 232 of Oscar Joyce, I'm afraid. So the premium karting driver recovers, but now down at the back end of the field, and he's going to have to make up a lot of time there, Oscar Joyce. He's not the only one in dire straits, but he's certainly the only one off the road on the opening lap. What a start, though, from Luca Griggs to get himself back on terms with Ellie Goldstein. So Ellie Goldstein is now in 4th position. And still, the drivers battle for supremacy on the front end of the Senior X30 grid in qualifying Heat B versus F. Round the final turn, onto the home straight again. This is going to be tight as the drivers run in close proximity. Ellie Goldstein having a look for the inside of Luca Griggs. Further back, that looks like a battle between Balota, Luzio and Rattel. Harold Neradini trying to work his way through as well. And that is a spin at turn 1 for Margiulio. Adrian Margiulio has gone off there at turn 1. That's unfortunate for him. And that drops Margiulio a long way down the order. He was in the midfield there. And now he will be down at the back, side by side. Good battles there with the VDK driver. That looks to me to be the 258, I believe. Going wheel to wheel there. Oh, it was Enzo de Cruz trying to pop up there. So Enzo de Cruz battling away. Kevin Rabin and the 269 in the mix there. That's Sam Balota, who's had a bit of an awkward lap. So Ariel Elkin leads the way at the moment. Greenall in 2nd place now, having got past Goldstein and Griggs. Luzio is 5th ahead of Rattel, Balota, Atkins, the Cruz and Nuradini. Kevin Rabin ahead of Erbertsmoor, Lazar Lartigo and Bart Harrison. There's the move from Goldstein. That'll do. 2nd place. A good move into turn 1 from the Belgian. And that could be the first of many this weekend. So Ellie Goldstein doing a fascinating job out in the front end of the field at the moment. The Eichmann's GP kart going well in 2nd place in front of Greenall and Griggs. So they continue their charge forward. It's a great weekend of racing so far at Senior X30. So many teams running up at the sharp end of the field. And certainly the confidence that will grow in the EGP racing squad as a result of this weekend, with the likes of Goldstein, Carmen, Wouters, Van Meert, all doing such a fantastic job. The team is just going to continue to grow in stature. But what about Greenall? Fusion Motorsport, Dan Hazelwood in his operation, always towards the sharp end. So Greenall is still putting in an excellent display here, right in behind Goldstein. It's a long race, don't forget. They've only completed 3 of the laps as they come through this time by. But Ariel Elkin is the man they've all got to try and beat. There's Andy Rattel at the back of the train as they go through turn 1. So Griggs and Luzio still dueling away for 4th position behind Goldstein and Greenall. And there's great racing everywhere you look in Senior X30. It's hard to pick a decent battle because there are so many to choose from. Here comes Luzio now into 4th place for the Dan Holland Racing team. Puts the Lando Norris kart chassis into 4th place. Running Tony Kart overalls, which does fit because, of course, the Lando Norris kart is part of the OTK group. But Marcus Luzio running a great weekend thus far. He had a bit of bad luck in the first race yesterday, spinning in position and then having to finish a lap down, but he's not done yet. There's a long way to go for Luzio, and he's got good recoveries to make. So we'll see what happens as the battles continue here, but we'll definitely have some solid efforts to come. And that is one of the Lando Norris KART chassis coming back onto the circuit. That's the 235 going off. Now I'm afraid that is a very unfortunate state of affairs for Drake Jansen. Drake Jansen, the Dutchman. So Drake Jansen now falls to the back of the field as Ariel Elkin leads the way from Goldstein and Greenall. Luzio is the fastest man on track though. He is catching up to these three. How about this for a battle? We've got 4 different teams in the top 4 places. In fact, make it 6 in the top 6. Ariel Elkin for VDK, Goldstein for EGP, Greenall for Fusion, Luzio for Dan Holland, Andy Rattel for KBK, and in 6th is Griggs for the PDB Racing Falcon. What a great battle this is in Senior X30. All of a sudden, the winter shake-up has made this one of the most ultra-competitive starts to the season we've ever seen in IAME Euro. An almost completely full capacity, 107 drivers out of the 108 that are eligible to enter. You can't really have more than 108 in a race weekend. So that is amazing. Great stuff from Senior X30. Full to the brim, here comes Goldstein. He's worked it magically and up into the lead he goes. So with 4 laps to go, Goldstein hits the front. Here comes Elkin for the retaliation. Greenall goes with him. So the lead for Goldstein is short-lived. Now Greenall going side by side with Elkin. Jumps across, tries to squeeze him. Don't even think about it. Goldstein round the outside. But it is going to be Greenall who holds on, and Ariel Elkin is not going to like that at all. Luzio's having a think about this as well now. Elkin tries to get back on in, and there's not enough room for both. Rattel is going to get through in the chain reaction. So Rattel comes up to 4th. Elkin is not happy with Greenall at all. Here comes Rattel and Luzio, both getting past Goldstein. All of a sudden, Andy Rattel, he's up into 3rd position. What a drive from the KBK star. Excellent from Andy Rattel. So Greenall, Elkin, and then Andy Rattel. But Elkin's going to get big recovery here on Greenall. Greenall's going to hold him at bay. 3 to go. Luzio gets his run on Rattel into 3rd place. Elkin is going to be pushing Greenall. Greenall is in defensive mode already. Elkin is not happy. He squeezes through. Greenall on the grass. And so now Goldstein and Luzio are going to duel for 2nd. Here comes the move. Goldstein is there. The door's still open for Rattel, but Luzio holds it round the outside. And now Greenall is down at the back of the train. Ariel Elkin gets into the lead again. Greenall back up the inside of Luca Griggs and moves up into 5th position. Senior X30 never ceases to amaze. Brilliant stuff. Andy Rattel riding behind Luzio, who's riding behind Goldstein, who's got a little bit of daylight to make up between himself and Elkin. Right. Goldstein will gesture to Luzio and Rattel. Stop battling. Stop racing. Work with me. Let's get after Ariel Elkin. We've got 2 laps to catch him. Come on. In through turn 1. Goldstein and Luzio definitely have the pace. Rattel is still there strong. Elkin's not going to have that 0.3 of a second advantage for long, the way that Goldstein and Luzio are rolling up to him. In through 4. They're already gaining the time. Sensible driving, mature composure from Goldstein and Luzio. Rattel working with them. This is going to be a 4-way scrap on the last lap for sure. Up on the inside to 5th place comes the hard-charging Herberts Moore. Moore has come up into 5th position, the Spanish charge. Here comes Luzio. No waiting around. He gets through on Goldstein. That's going to give Elkin a bit more daylight. Goldstein gestures to Rattel. Don't be Marcus. Work with me. Come on, let's get him. The frustration and the agitation, obvious to see in the drivers from 2nd through 4th. Luzio feels he can catch Elkin better than Goldstein can, but in doing so, has he given Elkin too big a gap? He may have felt that Elkin wasn't really catchable after all, and so 2nd will have to do. Goldstein frustrated that they can't go for the win now. He's got to work with Luzio to have any chance of catching the Israeli at all, but he may feel that it's too big a gap. So will Goldstein go rogue? Not yet. He's still got time to play with on the last lap. Rattel is 4th. 5th is Moore, 6th is the Cruz, 7th is Bart Harrison from Griggs, Greenall and Atkins. Harrison up to 6th place now. Balota gets past Atkins and Mono. But Elkin is still trying to hold this. Lucio 2nd, Goldstein 3rd. Think about the long term as well. How big a gamble do you want to take to get into 2nd when 3rd is achievable? And it will still keep you in a consistent position. How much do you risk? How big a gamble do you take? Elkin isn't far ahead of Lucio. Lucio may have saved this for last. He might just get him out of the final turn. Lucio is waiting, using the slipstream. Can he get there? He won't manage it. Elkin's going to get the victory just from Lucio. Goldstein tries, can't make it stick. Great work. Good vision from Elkin, Lucio and Goldstein. They bagged a top 3 finish at a critical moment in the weekend. You need that sometimes, even if the win isn't on. 2nd and 3rd will have to do. And it's the difference between keeping yourself in the hunt and throwing it all away. So good work from Elkin, Lucio and Goldstein. Sensible to the flag. Rattel, pure opportunism and composure from the Frenchman in P4. Some great work there. Easy to assess the class of these drivers when they give it to you. Absolutely amazing. So a fantastic run from the competitors. This is going to be a sensational run from the competitors as they will continue to give us great battle. So we're going to see a fantastic change of the guard from the drivers. And we will see just how exciting and how close racing, how close quarters the battle is going to be. Ariel Elkin, Marcus Lucio and Ellie Goldstein from Andy Rattel and Herbert Moore. Bart Harrison and Anzo Cruz from Luca Griggs, Oliver Greenall and Kalai Atkins. Sam Balota, Alexandra Mono and Giovanni Trentin from Kevin Rabin, Herolin Neradini and Hugo Natarel. Kamal Agar and Lazar Lartigo in the top 20 from Lewis Bird. And Petra Babichkova, who made up 14 places. Giovanni Trentin made up 19, so phenomenal there. Herbert Moore himself made up 16. Behind Petra Babichkova, Nathaniel Den Hont from JP Slater, Julian Carmen and Jan Duran. Mikel Marino in front of Mattis Barb, Delano Waylands and Ben Doughty from Nicholas Mühlbach and Hugo Brunn from Jan Rothen, Mirko Wouters, Oscar Joyce, Drik Janssen and Adrien Marjulio. Despite the problems for a few drivers in the field, everybody could still make it across the finish line.